JonBenèt Patricia Ramsey, born on August 6, 1990, was an American child beauty pageant queen who was murdered in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado on the night of December 25, 1996, at the age of just 6 years old. A 2-page ransom note was found on the kitchen staircase in their house by her mother, Patricia Ramsey, on the 26th of December, at which point she realised their daughter was missing and contacted authorities. Her father, John Ramsey, found JonBenèt's body in the basement of their house about 8 hours after she was reported missing. Her skull had been broken from a serious blow to the head, and she had been strangled with a garrote, which was found around her neck. The autopsy report stated that the cause of death was from asphyxia by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. Her death was classified as a homicide by the Boulder State Police Department. The case generated nationwide public and media interest, in part because her mother, who was a former beauty queen herself, had entered JonBenèt in a series of child beauty pageants. The case still remains an open investigation. So what's so strange about the case of JonBenèt Ramsey? Well, it ultimately comes down to two things. The first being the ransom note, which police believed at the time was staged to cover up her death, whether it was accidental or on purpose, and that a handwriting expert claimed the note was written by her mother. Secondly, and only after further investigation by Lou Smith, a retired police detective in Colorado Springs, did new evidence come to light that an intruder was almost certainly responsible for her death, not her parents or her brother Burke, as was initially suspected by investigators. The case could have very well destroyed the reputation and lives of her family if it had not been revised by Smith. During his investigation, he found that the window in the basement was broken and that an adult man could pass through the window with relative ease. He also found a print of a boot which did not belong to or match anyone in the house. The evidence just kept mounting up that someone did kill their daughter whilst everyone slept. This is simply heartbreaking and no doubt caused them severe emotional trauma. The Ramseys gave several televised interviews, but resisted police questioning except on their own terms. In October of 2013, unsealed court documents revealed that a 1999 grand jury had recommended filing charges against John and Patsy for permitting the child to be in a threatening situation and hindering the prosecution of an unidentified person who had committed the crime of murder in the first degree and child abuse resulting in death. However, the DA determined there was insufficient evidence and did not pursue an indictment. In 2002, the DA's successor took over investigation of the case from the police and primarily pursued alternative theories of a non-family intruder committing the killing. In 2003, a trace DNA taken from the victim's clothes was found to belong to an unknown male, inducing the DA in 2008 to send the Ramseys a letter of apology declaring the family completely cleared. In February of 2009, the Boulder Police Department took the case back from the DA and reopened the investigation. In addition to JonBenèt's brief beauty pageant career, media coverage of the case has often focused on her parents' wealth and the unusual evidence found in the case. Media reports have also questioned the police handling of the case. Ramsey family members and their friends have filed defamation suits against several media organisations in the subsequent years after her death. According to statements that Patsy Ramsey gave to authorities on December 26, 1996, she realised that her daughter was missing after she found a 2.5-page ransom letter on the kitchen staircase. The ransom note demanded a very specific amount of $118,000 for the child's safe return, almost the exact value of a bonus her husband had received earlier that year. The ransom note was unusually long, and the police were told by the FBI that it was also very unusual for a ransom note to be written at the crime scene. It was considered by the police to be staged and included an unusual use of exclamation marks and acronyms, and did not have any fingerprints. The ransom note and a practice draft were written with a pen and pad of paper from the Ramseys' home. According to a Colorado Bureau of Investigation report, there are indications that the author of the ransom note is Patricia Ramsey. However, they could not definitively prove it. A handwriting expert, Sina Wong, after a 3-week analysis of the ransom note, believed it was written by Patsy Ramsey, as the author of the note used 4 different variations of the letter A, and that Patsy uses the same 4 types of A. Some theorised that a paedophile ring or local sex offender wanted to bribe her father after having seen her in beauty pageants. They somehow knew he had taken home a large bonus that year, so wanted to use her as an opportunity to make money. Perhaps JonBenèt was making too much noise and spooked the perpetrator, so they killed her instead before she could wake her family. This theory is given credence to the fact that one of the individuals that Smith identified as a suspect under his intruder theory was Gary Howard Oliver, who was arrested for 2 counts of attempted sexual exploitation of a child and 1 count of sexual exploitation of a child charges in June 2016, according to Boulder's Daily Camera. Oliver, a registered sex offender, was identified as a suspect in an October 2002 episode of 48 Hours Investigates. Another suspect in her murder was Michael Helgoff, who died in apparent suicide shortly after JonBenèt's death. The boot print that was found in the basement of the Ramseys' home was thought to belong to him, but it wasn't a match. After revising all the evidence and taking into consideration that her family was exonerated from the crime of JonBenèt's murder, I am inclined to believe that an intruder did indeed kill her whilst her family slept on Christmas night. Whoever the true perpetrator is, we may never find out, but I hope that the Boulder State Police Department can solve this open investigation so that justice can be served. I also want to take this opportunity to remember Patricia Ramsey, who sadly passed away from ovarian cancer in 2006, aged 49. May both their souls rest in peace. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, why not subscribe so you don't miss the next exciting episode of Strangeries. Thanks for watching.